Frank Turner.
Hi.
Absolute pleasure.
It's a pleasure to be here.
We've interviewed a number of times. We did a Zoom, but we're actually meeting face to face for the first time.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks. Have a good day. No, it's all right. I'm joking. It was 2 years since we chatted last. So,
Right.
how the last 2 years been for you?
Busy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, how have the last 2 years been? What year is it now?
24.
I've written and recorded and released one of my favorite records I've ever made on
Nice.
the Features, which I'm very stoked about still, which is the thing that happens to me every now and again. I'm 10 albums in, but like quite often at this point, the album came out in May. At this point, I'm usually hypercritical of what I just did.
Yep.
But every now and again, I'm not.
Yep.
And in this instance, I'm not. I'm really proud of that record.
It's brilliant.
And what else? My personal life's been a bit choppy in the last couple of years, but that's a by the by. But I've been on tour a lot.
Yeah.
Which has been nice because 2 years ago we were still coming out of the pandemic, right? So,
Yes.
it's nice to be actually, I mean, quote unquote normal, but just getting somewhere better.
Now, I know that you know, because you tell us all the time, but I forgot what show number are we up to?
2,984 today, I think. But this is the thing, I don't know it off the top of my head. It's written on the set list.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. There are people who think I have this like perfect OCD recall.
Yeah.
But no. It's well, and also I can remember what I said yesterday and I'll just add one.
Yeah. That makes sense. All right, now, you are back. How's it been so far?
Good, yeah. I mean, the world's changed a lot in the last 5 years, you know, and I think that there are a lot of, everybody's talking about the struggles that live music is facing now, and rising cost inflation. You know, there are still a lot of people who stopped going to shows in 2020 who haven't started coming back again now. All that kind of thing. But I mean, ultimately, like, you know, this is my passion and my life, and it's my job and it's my trade, and it's just like I just get on with what I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you do well.
And I'm grateful for that.
True. Now, we are here for Good Things Festival. Have you had a chance to catch any bands or see any shows?
Not really, because we're busy, and like, you know, yesterday we finished playing and went straight to the airport and flew here. So, but having said that, I saw and discovered I'd never heard of them before. I saw Alpha Wolf yesterday. They were great.
Yep.
Really good band.
They're here.
Really enjoyed them. There were a lot of friends of mine playing, like Loathe, great. Gaslight Anthem, Bowling for Soup, stuff like that. But I tend to not check the lineup of festivals before the day because 9 times out of 10 I can't see any of the bands I want to see anyway.
Disappointed that you can't see anyone.
You know, it's like ultimately I'm working while I'm here rather than hanging.
That's fair.
And again, today we finish and we leave site and go to the airport and fly to Brisbane.
That's a shame. That happens. But your live show is always insane. You leave it all up there.
That's the idea.
You're one of the best at doing
That's
it.
very kind of you to say.
How important is that live aspect of your music to you?
Very. I mean, just on a kind of like hour by hour basis, I'm a performer more than I am anything else, like songwriter or recording artist or whatever. You know, and I love playing live because it's an active connection with an audience. There's something slightly redemptive about it in the sense that, you know, when you're recording, it's like you're working through material over and over again to try and get the quote unquote perfect take, which doesn't exist. And with a show, it's like you do your best in that moment, and if it goes well, it's awesome, and if it doesn't, then you do better tomorrow.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? And there's something, and like I have done a few live records in my time, so this is obviously bullshit, but like I'm not the biggest fan of like the whole live record thing, because to my mind, it's like if you were there, you were there, and if you weren't, you weren't. And it's like, the whole point is the thing that happens once ever. Yeah. You know, one group of people, one stage, one room, one band, you know, and tomorrow will be different. Even if you're playing the same set list, it's still different. Yeah. And I love that. But then also, like, I mean, in terms of putting on a kind of like energetic show, you know, one of the things that I do, which is sort of cheating, but like, I mean, the music I make is whatever you want to call it, folk, rock, punk, I don't care. Yeah. But I grew up going to see bands like Sick of It All and The Chariot and Converge and stuff like that. And like our kind of a physical approach to a show is very much taken from the hardcore world, even though the music we're making is not necessarily hardcore. And what's fun about that is that you get people coming up and being like, "That's the craziest show I ever saw." And I'm like, just go and see The Chariot, motherfucker. Yeah, it's, you know, I like coming off stage feeling spent, you know?
And you do.
Yeah.
Like the Crowbar the other night, I couldn't make it, but I saw you.
The Crowbar was one of the hardest shows I have ever done in my whole life. Really? It was brutal beyond description. It was so hot and my jet lag. My schedule went Barcelona, Denver, London, Vietnam, Sydney.
I mean, that's how you do it, right?
Well, I am just tired all the time.
Wow.
And this is the end of, I've been on tour since February, so it's the end of a long run.
Far out.
Yeah.
Let's talk about performing live, because what's the weirdest thing that's ever popped into your head while you've been playing live?
I mean, Well, how honestly to answer this question? There are days when, you know, I do it every day, and there are moments when you're sitting there thinking, it's a nice restaurant next to the hotel, you know, or whatever. But I mean, I try and stop myself from doing that because you want to engage. That's the fucking point, right? I mean, you know, you see some weird shit in the crowd from time to time, and sometimes it's awesome. In recent years, there's been a bit of a thing of people crowd surfing people who are in wheelchairs, which I think is awesome. It's the weirdest thing to see.
Wow.
Like, because there's a commotion over there, what's happening? And it's like, pop! And like, they're just like, and it's cool as fuck, you know, and I hope that people put them down gently and all the rest of it. But it's nice for everyone to feel included in the show and all that kind of thing. Awesome. But you know, people do weird shit, and like, I stop shows if there's fights and stuff like that. Good. And that pisses me the fuck off, incidentally. It's just like, there is no good reason for this to be happening right now. At least one of you's being a dick, but probably both. Sorry, man.
That's all right.
But yeah, I mean, things pop into your head as you go. And then yesterday, my bass player fell over during the show, like properly wiped the fuck out, and I didn't even see it.
Checks out.
Yeah. He didn't miss a note either.
Oh, there you go. Love that. All right, one last question. We've got to wrap up. We're at Good Things Festival.
Yes.
So, what is a good thing that's happened to you this year?
Well, I mean, I'm a fortunate person, so many good things happened to me this year. I got a world record. I hesitate to call that a good thing. It's good to have the world record. The process of doing it was one of the worst things that ever happened to me in my life. I played 15 shows in 15 different cities in 24 hours. And it was awful. Utterly horrible.
Amazing.
But it's nice to have a world record. I got a #1 in the UK. That was nice. Yep. I met the love of my life. That was cool. So
there you go.
Happy days. Right. So it's been a good year on all the levels. It's also just been long.
Love it. Well, it's almost done, man.
Yeah.
We appreciate having you here.
Thanks very much, man.
Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you.